Hey everybody, I'm Mumbles.
I'm Chris.
I'm Josh.
And I'm Root Scott. Seamus was kidnapped by Algerian terrorists yesterday. Like, not representing some sort of Algerian organization, they're just actually exchange students from Algeria. Anyway, he's not here for commentary this week, so we are going to have to pretend to be him. I think this is really Mumbles' wheelhouse.
My name's Seamus, blah 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 blah. Blah 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 graphics.
Why, Alan? Why would you say, at least I was out of the woods?
Okay, so
we are going to look for Barry. And he is at the cabin, and we hope he's keeping the lights on, and there's lots of crows.
yes, because I'm very annoyed with him.
So check this out. Now we finally get to get the car, right? It's a great big new, like, massive park ranger truck. The lights on it are on, but it's locked behind this parking garage that says no parking anytime.
Well, you gotta
Sure.
Well, Alan Wake is a hack writer, so he can do what he wants.
This actually fits within the conceit of the game, in which batteries are magical mystery boxes, powered by fairy shit.
I was actually going to agree with Rutskarn's previous thing, where this is clearly a open world leftover, where the original rule was any car with lights, you can get in and drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Chris actually was said just exactly what I was going to, which is this is clearly indicative of when this was an open world game, and they wanted to make using vehicles an integral part of the gameplay.
Left hunting rifle.
Really?
Someone stole all the toilets! What the fuck?
Really just sort of serves as an. What the fuck?
Wow.
Where are the toilets?
Oh my god.
Now that's some terror. That's terror.
Scott, we need you to cut down
sinks
the poly...
either.
Scott, we need you to cut down the poly count of this level, and we don't care how you do it.
Well, get rid of the
The
toilet.
men's restroom is fully functional, except they still don't have a mirror. Oh, that one's
Why would they have
occupied.
ammo?
Sorry.
No,
They
I
didn't
think
want you in there.
I think it's just one of the programmers, like this massive land whale, stumbles into the room of Frank, the other land whale, and he's like, Jerry, fuck it, I'm doing the malls for like the bathrooms. I need your help. Like, so it's sort of like break down. How exactly do girls pee? Frank's like, whoa, and they just panic and don't come up with anything.
I think it's out of their butt.
I think it might be out of their butt.
Okay,
They need,
this
like,
is
a
actually...
special
This is actually a fairly relevant plot point, where he points out that the story has to feel organic, because if it doesn't, the story dies, and if the story dies, Alice dies. Which is why, even though he can write it... He can write some things that...
I said I was sorry, man. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
You're saying, Chris?
He can write in some things that are to his benefit, but if he makes it completely unbelievable, like he gains the ability to fly and become Neo in the Matrix, the story stops making sense, falls apart, and then the darkness will take Alice.
It's
But
also
he
worth
can still be
mentioning
a
a little
terrible writer. But that's
It's
okay.
also worth mentioning a little bit later that he does say that like the woman in black is heavily editing his manuscripts, so that explains why things are going bad.
We should get to that within the next few episodes. So what is
Why
up with
does
this
he let her in?
campground? It's all like a pristine campground. Nobody's around. Maybe they're all asleep in their trailers. Who knows?
Maybe they got turned into shadow folk, Josh. Come on.
Oh wow! So on the console, that like tutorial, like there's the buttons are all weird by default.
Yes.
Like rather than going forward and backwards with the stick to go forward and to like accelerate and reverse, it's like right trigger and left trigger and stuff. And on this, it's just WASD. Just like press these buttons some. So this is kind of like Revenge of
Hit more people.
Revenge of Alan Wake here.
Yes, because he's apparently he now has a vehicle with a mounted Helios-powered machine gun.
That's really weird. There are less guys here than there were when I played through this actually like 4
What?
hours ago.
Hit,
There-
Josh, hit more people with your truck.
I'd love to. There's only like one person over here. Like when I was playing through this on the console, there were like 50 some odd dudes that just like kept
that
spawning
guy.
up.
Yeah.
So am I the only guy who really kind of wish they'd explained exactly what the fresh hell was going on when Alan focuses his light?
I think it has.
He turns
I
on
think
the high
it's.
beams.
I think it's like Adam Jensen's pheromones. Like he does an armpit fart noise and the light boosts really high.
Oh, that's a funny prank. One of the shadow zombies put a fog machine in your truck.
Yeah,
guys
so
with
your vehicles
Never
here
gets old.
don't have a lot of health, which is kind of unfortunate.
The cars in Saints
more
Row
of
can
them.
take more than that.
Also, the weirdest part about this thing is you can get all these weapons here in like pickups and stuff, but as soon as you leave this section of the game, it takes away all your fucking weapons, and it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and you're not going to really use them on enemies when you're driving the Juggernaut, so what's the point?
Yeah,
Oh man, you guys are hitting dudes. It doesn't get old.
Almost. Does this have anything to do with the fact that with why you're not allowed to drive anymore?
Maybe just a little. To see
This
pedestrians,
really
and I
should have just
think-
been cut from the game entirely.
Oh,
Really
absolutely.
yeah. This is
No.
very
fact,
clearly
no.
the vestiges of when it was an open world game.
In fact, as I was going to say, I
This
think
is
this
the best
evinces
part of the game.
exactly why they cut out the open world element from Alan Wake. It doesn't work. They're telling a
No,
pretty
it-
linear story here. Yeah.
Well, see, the really irritating point about it all is that most of the time you're driving around in the middle of the night, and you want to like go around in this open world and explore, right? But of course, these guys are constantly spawning up right next to you, and you have to use the truck to fight them. And if you, and God forbid, if your truck actually breaks and you're not near some other car you can steal, hello, trailer.
You can steal
then,
other cars.
Yeah, you can totally steal other cars.
I think
Then you're screwed. And you have to waltz through this constantly respawning, like, very, very shitty.
The flare gun was probably the best.
You're walking through this constantly respawning field of enemies that just really sucks.
But you guys, you hit people with a truck. I don't understand.
It's
okay.
cool, yeah, but
well, the major problem is that the narrative of Alan Wake is
Blah, blah, blah.
that it's you are a guy being driven by sort of the eldritch forces of the of this storyline, and you're not really in control of your actions. You know, something is happening according to a grand ineffable plan that you're not privy to, even though you wrote it. So I kind of feel like giving you the ability to drive wherever you want would have ruined that. But it's no
Oh,
fun
yeah.
to drive from point A
But-
to point B.
But you hit people. You hit people from point A to point B. I don't understand what the problem is.
Okay, and you know, that's an interesting point there, which is that the car in Half-Life 2 was awesome.
I debate that, but I think Mumbles has a point where if you're gonna have people have stupid kill ghost filler, you could make it more fun than the shield shooty bits that they already have. But I don't think the car is the answer to that either.
I still need
Yeah.
to write the ending.
I wouldn't have minded the car. It feels a really abrupt switch to like a GTA style game that doesn't make a whole lot of sense, and it's not really open world because all the sections are pretty linear. You have some exploration there, and then of course the whole constantly respawning baddies thing makes that whole mechanic kind of worthless anyway because you
That's
can't
the problem
explore
with
while
the
they're running
whole
around.
Combat of the game, though.
Yeah,
The game
but
makes the
it
mistake of having
becomes
respawning
more
bullshit.
apparent when it tries to be an open world game.
I guess my point is, it'd be a lot more fun if they made it fun, but they don't. They just have you shine a flashlight at stuff and then shoot it.
Yeah.
Oh, kill all those birds.
But to be honest, like even I agree with Mumbles, but even the car segment in Alan Wake, it just isn't very fun. Like hitting
you
guys
know
is
what?
okay, but like...
No. You're wrong. Hitting guys is always
The problem is that you don't really have the opportunity to open up the car. Like, you don't,
like
you have...
hit them in the face with the driver's door? Yeah, I know. That's one of my favorite things to do.
What? No, Mumbles, no. This isn't about the license you lost for murdering people on the streets of San Francisco.
What if
this
you had
is
a
about...
grappling hook and you
No,
tossed
Mumbles,
it
okay.
and dragged them behind your car? I don't
Aren't you not even allowed to discuss this shit? I thought there's like some sort of injunction.
I did my time.
Okay. Point is, there's not really enough like space to drive fast. I just hit on it. That's why I like the muscle car in Half-Life 2. Not so much actually damage. The reason I like the muscle car is because it's exciting. Like, you know, it's pretty linear, but you drive fast, you know, you hit a few jumps. There's the roar of the engine. It's fun. The truck in Alan Wake is kind of fun, I guess.
It's incredibly fragile, it feels.
Which is stupid.
Like my truck was almost dead there, and all I'd done is got hit a couple times.
Oh, I hated this fight.
This fight is a pain in the ass on the console, especially because, you know, you're using a gamepad. It really sucks trying to track things in 3 dimensions like that.
It's really easy to, like, get blindsided by some birds or run out of flashlight batteries or something.
Go inside. Why isn't he going inside? Why is he fighting the thing?
Because Barry's...
Oh, hey, coffee thermos!
Oh man, we totally missed it. So this scene was the reason I didn't like Barry. It's because, like, you know, it's supposed to be this tense thing, but he was still like being a comic relief inside, and that sort of ruined the moment for me, I guess.
That's because no character in this entire game has any dimension at all.
The man wanted a manuscript.
Yeah, that's actually pretty accurate.
Except, ironically, the villain. We don't even know who it is yet, and we won't for another, like, 2 chapters.
Supernatural had always been nothing but a metaphor for the human psyche. A tool
the villain is Dan Brown.
Now, it was happening for real, and I couldn't...
Oh god,
like
I can't wait till we get to that, like, FBI guy. He's hilarious.
Yes.
I don't like that you know that he's been writing it the whole time. Like, I don't like that. I feel like that could have been a cool reveal maybe at the very end. But I don't like that.
But how would you disguise that if you kept the manuscript mechanic and...
Don't keep the manuscript mechanic.
See you soon.
Or a hint to it. Have less pages.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the manuscript mechanic was pretty good. Maybe if you did it in 3rd person. Like, it wasn't like, I did this, but rather he did this, and he never revealed the protagonist's name.
I think I agree with partially with Mumbles, partially with Josh. I would not have moved the reveal to the end, but I would have pushed it back a little bit.
Yeah.
I think having a little bit of confusion in the beginning, yeah.
Fortunately, nobody's stupid enough to fall for someone talking like that on the phone, right? Am I right?
Yes. Oh god, this is so hilarious, this next scene. I'm gonna wait till we get there. Also, this song is pretty good, too.
Oh. I think I know this. Who is this?
Hold on Wikipedia.
That's what the commenters
End of
are for.
episode 2. End of episode 2.
I want to see,
Never
like,
gets
Poe.
old.
Is that right?
It is Poe. It is Poe Haunted.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, snap! Mumbles comes through.
Bam!
The lady with the music blog knows music. Oh no!
Shut up, Chris.
Impossible!
Shut. Oh, my name's Chris.
That's a
I know stuff
compliment.
about video game. Just kidding.
I was making fun of Rutscar, not you. I swear. I swear.
I
Nothing
know.
but respect.
I know.
So,
Yeah, wait, hey, what?
as much as I'd love to spend 3 minutes listening to a song and doing nothing else in this Let's Play, let's keep moving here.
Okay. You ready to rewatch what we just fucking did?
We're moving forward, Red Scarn, by going backward.
You have to step a little bit backwards to go forwards if you want to be thorough and also really obnoxious. Oh man, never gets less brutal. That scene where Alan just totally curb stomps that lamp.
Does
No
anybody
reason.
think that Rusty had the most hilarious face so far?
Yes.
His like vacant like
How the hell did she get her hands
expression.
on the manuscript anyway?
I don't know.
Ma,
It's
well,
his
I
own
do
fault.
declare,
Told
these
you
zombies
too
are quite the
hard.
hazard.
Listen, I found out all sorts of interesting stuff
So
while I was
I
digging
still,
around.
it's been pointed out in the comments that the the second and third episode really are about this, the manuscript originally being written by the Dark Presence,
Okay,
and
I'll be right
eventually,
over, Sheriff.
sometime after the middle of this
Let's make this
episode,
quick.
Alan Wake takes over and starts writing it in a different direction.
Help you folks? Name's Randall.
So,
Yeah.
here was a great idea on the part of the
We're looking
game
for Rose.
developers.
Works as a
Let's have you
waitress down
follow
at the
around an
bar.
NPC
Rose,
through this
sure.
area,
Nice
and
girl.
let's make
That
him
has
an
a limp.
injured war veteran with a limp.
Exactly.
The writer, huh?
I call this
God
the
damn.
BioWare walk,
Well, I'll show you her trailer.
because in BioWare games you walk
She's a nice
really
girl.
slow
Always
in
pays
some
around.
segments.
As I
Like
was saying,
underwater. Remember that, you
all
guys?
sorts of weird
Oh
stuff
man,
down low.
god
Remember
damn,
that?
you just brought up the worst 15 minutes of my life, Mumbles.
Crazy.
Or
Just
the
deaths,
Geth ship
urban
in Mass
legends
Effect
come
3?
true,
Anyone?
and get this,
And just
most of this stuff takes place
Yes, you're the only one who's played Mass Effect
Okay.
3 out of this group of
Well,
4
you ain't
RPG
wrong,
nerds.
mister. The Indians thought the lake
This
was
also
the
raises an
way
interesting
of the
question. Oh,
underworld.
go
I'm a
ahead.
God-fearing type myself.
No, I'm saying Chris, go.
Yeah.
Oh, I was just going to say,
There was an
this
island
part
owned
raises
by
an
a
interesting
guy
question
called
because we
Thomas
get a lot of
Sage.
backstory here for the lady in the lake and her lover and the person who lusted after the guy who was dating the lady in the lake.
Zane was heavily into diving.
But all of this
So
takes
much so
place-
that the place came
But all this
called
takes place
Diver's Island.
supposedly after Alan was writing the script to set up the future. So one has to wonder whether Alan wrote that into existence or whether the darkness inserted itself into the manuscript.
Yeah, how about that?
Well, if he
Huh.
created it, that
Looks like
introduces
someone
some
had
interesting
some
continuity
trouble
problems.
parking their
Tornado to lift something
boat.
like that.
So, I was playing this game with somebody next to me, and the first thing I asked was, how the fuck do you crash a boat that bad on land?
Yeah. It's weird. I want to make a Kennedy
I love
joke,
how
but
this
I just
guy's-
can't.
This guy's just so dismissive of. It's like, oh yeah, I was there this morning. I guess tornadoes or some shit. Who cares? I don't know. We'll clean it up sometime.
I don't know. Maybe the fairies brought it down from the mountainside.
Josh, that cracks me up every time. 'Cause
It's so funny to watch this.
I know.
You feel really stupid doing it, but like watching it's hilarious. It looks like you're making fun of like this injured war veteran.
They were lovers.
That's exactly what it looks like.
Jagger's a local sports
You look like such
Whoa.
a jagoff right now.
story in the dark. Child is
Super light physics objects.
It's like
Oh,
I love how
God.
like
all of the articles about this stuff.
Josh, in a minute we're gonna see like you see the sandbox. You could totally ride around in that wagon because it's a super light.
no
physics
no.
object. Yeah, no.
Where?
Like
Where
you
is
could
it?
you could just like run up onto it and it'll coast along inside the sandbox with you in it.
Yes.
It's over there by the trailer.
She had some kind of a breakdown.
Right there, right there.
Okay, we got it. Oh.
You gotta like,
Come on,
you gotta
Alan,
do it.
jump.
You run onto it. Yeah, there you go. It's like that. It's like that.
Gripping gameplay.
Riveting next generation gameplay.
Why would you even have one of these wagons in a sandbox?
I don't know. That's see, like this is the biggest continuity error in Alan Wake, or the biggest factual error. You cannot roll a wagon inside a
Well,
sandbox.
mister,
That
this
does
here's
not
Rose's
work.
trailer. You mind me asking what you want with her?
Really? That's the biggest continuity error in Alan Wake?
Shut up.
Yes.